Okay, my parts have arrived. My shallow or short length T-nuts, this is the ones I had on hand, these longer ones. But with a 1/2 inch plywood or 16 millimeter birch plywood, you don't want to use these. You'd have to grind them off, and I didn't want to do that. So I ordered a bag of these. And the other reason I wanted to wait till I got them is I wanted to check the diameter of that through hole that I'm going to drill with my shaper, and it's 0.295, and so that's that. You know, you can take all the specs you want off of the internet, but I wanted to make sure before I drilled those holes. Then here's my bumpers, just going to be 1/4 inch bolts with the tubing, and they'll just thread into these until they bottom out, and then you can hand tighten them that way. So I've got plenty of tubing. I got the minimum mortar was 10 feet, but that's okay. So we're good to go. I'm going to tape this off. I've got it set up on some 1/4 inch risers, but the critical thing is to do all the inside work first before you make that last relief cut and drop this. So I'll import my cut file, do the interior work, and then work my way out to the edge. Alright, a quick update. Everything went just beautifully here with these holes. This is my 1/4 inch deep 20 hole. The straight cuts were a bit of a challenge. I had a little bit of a panic there because I wasn't picking up the line, but I was trying to pick it up back here when the shaper wanted me to pick it up here and then pull back. So once I figured that out, then I was able to make those cuts without any trouble, really. The other thing that I did wrong was I thought I was on this line, which when I'm cutting, I want the cutter to be on the line, so it's either side of the you know, there's 1/16 on either side of the line. I was on this line when I thought I was here. This one I wanted to cut outside, so my board's going to be 1/8 of an inch smaller than what I had intended it to be. But you know, one of those things I won't tell anybody if you don't. So I made this cut early. I wanted to do this last, but I'll come back here and do this now at 1/4 and then at 1/2, and that should release the board. Oh, and one other thing. There is kind of a bit of a challenge cutting this. You have to keep the camera pointed toward the center. So it's not so bad when I'm on this side or this side, but when I get out into here, you know, it'd be nice if I could rotate the piece, but I can't really do that. I should maybe have cut off a section, but you know, maybe that kind of helps you out if you ever do something like this. So cut on the outside of this line. For me now, I've got to cut on the line and finish it up. But everything really looks terrific so far, other than that little minor hiccup. There's a hiccup. I'll have to repair that. And that happened, I believe, well, not I believe, that this is what I had lifting my piece up off my work table, and it was loose on this end, and when the shaper came into that and caught that, it deflected, you know, or wobbled like this, and it took the bit into the center, as you can see there. But it didn't retract the bit. I don't understand why. But anyway, I left 2 tabs simply by stopping the cut and raising it. One is here and the other is somewhere over there to keep this from, you know, having this happen, I guess. But anyway, I like what I've done here, but I've got to I've got to put a little patch in there and deal with that. All right, I ended up cutting two of them. The first one, I cut it at 0 tolerance both directions. This one I cut 5/1000ths larger, and it's a nice fit, and it allows me to use this as a clamp basically. So I'm just going to put some glue in here. It's a pretty good color match, and then I'll just come back and take care of that with a handsaw and some sandpaper. Well, that turned out pretty nice, the glue up I mean. Alright, that looks pretty good. Nice and flush, top and bottom. Now the next order of business for me is to locate these T-nuts and countersink for them. So locate center with my twist bit, and it's just something you have to do. Remove and reinstall the 3/4 inch bit and then drill it. Now I had been setting to stop, but every time it was fruitless to do that because I could never get the bit back in exactly where it was. So I've just been eyeballing these depth of cut on this one. Making sure that I'm below the surface. That's good. So then I just rotate and clamp my extrusion here. I had to remove my fence because this piece was the center line was too big. Something on right there. And then I didn't have that chucked up correctly. Nope. That looks better. All right, couple more to do and then we can install them.